So we proceed. We proceed to the next. So, so we call on the counsel of the petition to call out his witness to cross-examine. Did you submit a witness? Yes, you submitted.
My first witness that I report is Mr. Resignation, an aspirant in the state of the testing regulations.
Point of correction, he's not an aspirant, he's a candidate. Let's not use them interchangeably. Thank you, my lord.
No, this is a different issue. This is a different.
Hello.
So I
I
do hereby in the name of God Almighty swear
yes, you hereby in the name of God Almighty swear
that everything I shall say shall be nothing but the truth.
that everything I shall say here shall be nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
So you are given 5 minutes to cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Esubonti Emmanuel,
Honorable EKD, Mr.
were you an aspirant who became a candidate of the just ended elections?
Yes, please.
And with that, you have actually gone through the processes, including vetting.
Yes, please.
Honorable, can you kindly take your seat?
Yes, sir.
Were you asked to submit statement of results during your nominations?
In a CI, it was not statement of results. It was transcript that was there.
Whatever was there,
that
were you
is-
asked?
That is what was the correction was made. That the terms, in as much as are used, have the same results, are not to be used interchangeably. So, statements of results are for continuing students. Transcripts are for completed or students who have completed or graduated. So, whatever implication a transcript gives is same as what a statement of results should give.
Thank you very much, my lord. So based on that, were you asked to give that document,
Yes,
statement of
please.
results?
Yes, please. Not only myself, together with my vice president here.
Did you give a consent to the EC, giving them the permission to check on that transcript?
No.
On the day of vetting, did you present your transcript?
Yes, I presented my transcripts or my statement of results together with my vice presidential candidate to all the 8 members of the vetting panel.
Did the EC ask aspirants to submit statement of results on the day of vetting?
Yes, please.
Did you pick a form alongside your vice?
Yes, I did pick a form alongside my vice in a nomination form.
Wait, before you continue. You can't take in the form of a vice. A running mate, please.
Thank you, my lord.
Okay.
Did you pick your form alongside your running mate?
Yes, I did pick a form alongside my running mate, which in the nomination form, they have categorically stated the vice presidential, vice president, if you can check from the form, that you have to add the person's.
So we don't want to check, but we are telling you what the right thing is. So now you didn't even know it was statement of results, did you know?
I knew it was statement of results. I knew it. It's actually when you go to the management, they'll tell you it's a detailed result.
So what we are telling you today is that it's a running mate, not a vice presidential candidate. Just like what we are saying that we are not calling it transcript, but statement of results. Let's go by the running mate.
That's understood.
So based on what you said, in the diction of the forms you pick, it was stated as what?
Vice President.
Thank you very much. The next question I want to find out from you is that did you do due diligence when you were appointing your vice presidential candidate and went on to actually find out whether he had a CGPA requirement of 3.0?
Yes, please. There were other people I considered as a running mate, but I had to do due diligence to cross-check their CGPA because I knew once I picked the form, it could affect me. So with my vice presidential candidate, even though he went to the permanent side to secure his own statement of results, I cross-checked myself to make sure that it is in the category as a federal executive officer once we are elected into office.
If for any reason along the process your vice presidential candidate resigned and actually affected your own mandate, what do you think you would do?
Objection, my lord. There is no record in the constitution that states that when he resigns, it affects his whole mandate. So he can't make an assumption based on that.
Sustained.
In this, when you were coming to the vetting, if other members didn't provide their transcript, what do you say to that? Their detailed results, what will you say to that?
EC told us that on the day of vetting, we should come along with all these documents, which he categorically stated that bring your statement of results to be checked. So if by any chance, of which I do not know, because I am not part of the vetting panel, which is the chairman, other candidates did not present a certified statement of results from the affairs, then I'll say that the due diligence was not done. Hence, that due diligence should
My lord,
be done.
he can't pass a objection. He can't pass a comment that due diligence was not done. He's passing a due diligence was not done. He's passing a judgment.
So it is in response to the question.
I'm not passing a judgment.
Do you understand? It's in response to the question. Do you understand? So overruled.
Thank you, my lord. In brief, what do
You
you have
have
to,
this should be your last question
in
because your time
brief,
is up.
what do you have to say about what is happening?
In brief, what I can say is that a whole lot has happened. If there are allegations that the EC said he would work on it, from that time to now, what has been done? Why hasn't he cross-checked? Can he tell us the CGPA, the certified CGPA of such states that if he has actually worked, he has possession and can give it to the entire body, that this is it. Not the then body as per se, but to verify with the vetting panel is actually the result. Thank you.
Okay. Counsel of the defendant. You are still, yes, you have to be.
This is one thing.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes. Please, do you know the legal counsel of the petitioner?
Of course, I do know him.
Did you
Counsel, please approach the bench.
You know him?
You may proceed.
Do you have his contact?
Yes, I do have his contact.
Can you tell me his contact?
I don't know his contact in my head.
So check on the phone and tell me his contact.
My phone is not here.
He's not here.
Yes.
So you don't have to ask the legal counsel his contact because I want the contact.
You may.
Please, what is your contact on WhatsApp?
My contact on WhatsApp.
Yes, please.
When it comes to numbers, I have issues with numbers. I will have to-
WhatsApp, just go to your WhatsApp page, open your profile, and you can just look for it and give it to us. It's not that difficult.
Okay, so my contact on WhatsApp 0540 634
Okay, so I put it to you that this contact is found on your page of Timothy Bontain.
Put it to me.
Yes, that this contact is found on your WhatsApp page for Team Esubontin. And he is not just anyone, but as admin on your page for Team Esubontin.
How do you know I even have a page on WhatsApp for Team
Please,
Esubontin?
I presented a document, Exhibit A and B. Let us cross-check if there is no contact like 0540 63
Okay.
48 87.
Okay, fine. You claim, how does he know?
Yes.
Since the counsel of the petitioner has been asked to give his telephone number, we'll ask the bench asks you to also give your WhatsApp telephone number so that we ascertain. It's something simple. WhatsApp is not some Cloud9 association that we can
WhatsApp number is 0247662083.
The last four digits are what?
0247662083.
Exactly. So in the same group, you have your name, and we have EKB, which the number which has been given already in the same group. So both of you,
my lord.
No, wait. Both of you are in the same group called Team Asubontin. It doesn't have anything to do with what the group does. You understand? Are you in the same group as him called Team Asubontin?
Yes, please.
And evidence have been provided to that fact.
Yes, please.
Exactly.
I like to ask a person where he had that
You can't
information
ask me
because the person cross-checking me is not on my page.
He is cross-examining you. You can't question him.
But he's
You
not on my
can
page.
choose to answer him or not, but you can't question him. He's cross-examining you. You are not cross-examining him. Let's take note.
So can I ask the question where
You can't ask a question. You are in a box. You're supposed to answer or refuse to answer.
that's been said?
So I put it to you, it says one thing, that this whole lawsuit is based to purport you to bring it into power.
That is a lie.
On what basis are you making such
Are you
assumptions?
making
No, you are not the one to ask him. This is an election petition, and when you are making certain statements, it goes far. You get it. So when you are making, you have to back it by evidence. So the bench wants to know under what factual grounds are you stating that? Otherwise, we'll ask you to retract your question.
My lord, I asked a question that I put it to him that all this is based on his main proposal to come to power. And he said, I should give the factual grounds. Now, first, based on the page that we are in, I asked the question, and Mr. EKB is a main person, he is an admin on the page, together with Mr. Subontin. And he is the lead counsel on this case. So we want to be sure in the court here that this case is not in the interest of one person to come into power, but in the interest of the students.
I like the use of students. In anything, the person seated there is first and foremost a student, and he has every right to join any association. And since you cannot actually link this petition to the concussion to bring Mr. Esubontin to power, I beg you to retract your question from the court.
Thank you, my lord. I retract. So, what do you seek that this court hearing gives to you?
What do I seek? What do I seek that this court hearing gives to me?
Objection, my lord. My lord, the question here is big, and it actually implies a lot of things.
You asked him, how does he feel? You also asked him a vague question. How do you feel about what is going on? So why is it that someone is also asking a vague question?
It's so subjective. If you can narrow it
Overruled.
down.
What is your expectation of this hearing?
Thank you very much, my lord. I would like to stand to express.
Sit down. I asked you to sit down.
I'd
So
like to
please.
start to express myself.
Listen. There are tenants as to what you should do when you're in a booth. You've not been asked to stand. So please sit.
Can I stand, my lord?
No, sit on your.
What I seek for this to bring is that the people of yours are in doubt. All people of yours are in doubt. They are questioning the credibility of our
Just straight to the
leader.
point. You don't have time.
You said I should answer your question.
Can you stop saying all people of you have? Please, respectfully.
Some students of yours are questioning the credibility of this SRC vetting and SRC elections. In other words, questioning the credibility of our EC, which I know him to be a good man. I know him to be a man that will do his work. But the due diligence has not been done, in that he has categorically stated here that he would work on a document which he has not worked on yet. So what I seek for this court hearing to bring to me is that the voice of the people are heard and the right thing is done. Thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Esubontin, we ask you to. You can excuse the second witness, Mr. Elijah Noah. I'm sorry if I got the pronunciation wrong. What? Niapon. Okay.
I
Yeah.
do hereby in the name of God
Do
Almighty
hereby in the name of Almighty God,
that everything I shall
that
say
everything
here
that I shall say here
shall be nothing but the truth.
shall be nothing but the truth.
To help me God.
So help me God.
Counsel for the 5 minutes.
Thank you, my lord.
Mr. Nafon,
All right, well,
I
okay.
would like to refer to Exhibit 124C in answering this question. Exhibit
124C.
my lord, this I also present. Okay, I can definitely take the fashion here.
Mr. Nafon, I'm holding in my hands a judgment that was actually given in 2019 about against one Mr. Upata.
Please, before we proceed, is the evidence is this the only part you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Then we cannot accept it as evidence. Because this evidence you have tendered here is a judgment from the Honorable Court and does not have any signature to any Chief Justice at that time. I think this is a 2019 judgment. And since it does not bear a signature to any, so please hurry up.
Yeah, no, okay. So we can move on. So let's go. So he said you have the complete document. Let us see it.
Because this is,
Because you want to write it down.
or you want to,
My lord, I'm saying I am looking for it, but in case. So we are waiting for you. Because of the time. Because of the time. So can you look for it and turn it to the bench? My lord, I said because of the time. Then take it back. Then take it back.
That is fine. That is fine.
I actually didn't say that I am coming to ask something on.
no, this is evidence. And evidence,
No, actually,
okay.
Cindy wasn't getting my point. So
so I made you understand. I understand what you said. I was looking for something to answer. So if I didn't get it, then that is all. Thank you very much. Mr. Yago,
Okay.
tell me, when you picked the form with your vice presidential aspirant, how was the process?
Actually, the AC made it known to us that we will have to provide certain documents to that effect. So preparation was made towards it. So we all went to the formal process of paying and taking the transcripts, sorry, the detailed results from the academic affairs attendance. That was the whole process.
Okay. Now, if a candidate who is actually in the race as a vice presidential aspirant to a presidential aspirant does not meet.
Objection, my lord. The vice president is not in the race because he's not vetted up. So what race is he talking about?
Your earlier submission, you stated clearly in Article 38, Clause 2, that the vice president is also vetted, but the criteria under which he is vetted is different.
But he's
That
talking
is
about
what-
a race. Which race is he constituted? Because
So where is the vice president in this race? Where is he? He's not somewhere. He's not running a lone race. You understand? He's also in the presidential race. He's with the president in the presidential race.
he's the president with the presidential race, but he is not in per Article 37, Clause 1, elected upon. So if he's ever taking the vice president on his own, saying that he's in the race,
Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. I proceed, Mr. Nyago. My question is that if the vice presidential candidate actually flaws the regulation, especially his CGP, you, being a stakeholder to this election, having read the CI, what do you think will happen to the person?
come again.
If a vice presidential candidate,
Please, this question is not. You shouldn't ask such a question. He cannot give judgment on a CI.
my lord, he's
No.
giving his opinion based
No
on-
opinion. No opinion. In this case, the question you ask, what do you think should happen? Now, should happen is not what do you suggest. What do you think should? Should is binding. It's not what do you suggest. So it's either you change the way the question was put on, you reframe your question and put it across.
Mr. Nyago,
Okay,
before you entered into this race, I believe you looked at the CI, right?
yes.
When a vice presidential candidate does not meet some requirements, especially at the nominations, what is
It has been stated that the vice presidential candidate before nomination is just a running mate. So don't be saying because the word candidate has implications. So just say running mate. And
the running mate? If he hadn't met a regulation as important as the CGP, what are the implications?
Objection, my lord.
ask the question correctly. Don't say what are. What are the I you are using there? No. So make it known to the court that you want his opinion. When you say what are, so when I ask you what are the basis for election of an MP, you have to tell me categorically what I'm not. What,
I can say something.
you can say something. You understand, but that's what I'm asking for is binding something. It's binding. I'm not asking you to suggest to me what constitutes anything. So when you're rephrasing or when you're asking him the question, make it known in the preamble that what do you suggest? Do you understand? Don't say what are. What are means you should explain or give judgment to a CI or a constitution. Thank you.
That's fine, my lord. Mr. Nago,
Okay.
all right. Are you following?
Yeah, I'm
The
really
CI,
following.
the CI. If your vice, okay, your running mate in this particular situation actually flaws some of the rules, what are your suggestions that you think it should be done?
I think I'll have to give my candid opinion on this. Since it's a requirement for the election, and as far as the federal executive portfolio is also concerned, I'll have to make sure that the necessary things is being put in place, the necessary measures is being put in place to make sure that he meets the requirements before he joined the race. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Did your running mate?
Please. Thank you. 5 minutes. It's 53 now.
Mr. Elijah. Honorable. So I'll follow on the last question. What are the requirements of the running mate, the CI?
The requirement of the running mate is he is able to meet the actual GPA that was given to the federal executive, so which is above 3.0.
Now, in the CI, it said having attained a cumulative GPA of at least 3.0 in the preceding semester in the case of SRC executive position. And it is proven in Schedule 7, 1B, that the vice president is not in a position for an election. So then, we also found that in Article 18, the vice president is not elected. So then, the vice president is not elected. That means Article 38, Clause 1, the requirement for GPA does not affect the vice president. And it's not explicitly that the vice president, the running mate.
Objection, my lord. My lord, why does counsel?
Please. This thing has been stated earlier has been addressed during the earlier opening statement, that the vice president is not voted for, but does not mean he is not elected. He is not voted for. Listen, he is not voted for. That means he will not go and meet his face there and vote for him. But he is elected together with the president. So don't be saying he is not elected or something like that.
No, what I'm trying to say is that yes, he is elected but not as voted for.
He is not voted for.
But Article 38, Clause 1, made it known that the qualification of people who are in an election. No, let Article 38, Clause 1.
I don't want to go back to the banter we had at the beginning. So you, please, be in line with the bench, you understand, and move, because we are, according to the Constitution, the onus on interpretation lies on us. You understand? So as we have interpreted to you, that is how you take it. And it doesn't mean it's not open for anything. But as it stands now, we don't want any banter. So just let's be guided. Thank you.
My lord, if your feedback on my objection.
Yes.
I raised an objection on that basis. I raised an objection. My lord, my objection is the contortion of facts. Counsel here keeps actually drawing us back. You have a very subjective conversation with you, in which you establish that the vice president is also in the election. So if you make an attempt,
if I want to, the bench never, if I stand corrected, but the bench never made it that statement.
My lord, he said he is not in the election. That is false.
A candidate for election, and it's stated in the Constitution, a candidate for election.
That is what my lord is telling you, that he is in the election.
No, he is, yes, he is in the election, and as such, he is elected.
Yes.
When when his position is given to him, it is an elected position. So we shouldn't make, in as much as he's not voted for, and it is stated that he is not
election,
a candidate for election.
Election.
I get that.
That election is talking about being voted for.
So you continue, overruled.
So that statement is a candidate who is being voted for. And that qualification for candidates who are being elected to be voted for should have a GPA of 3.0. It's never stated that the vice, who is the running mate, should have that qualification. So then, why is that a breach?
We were asked to present the detailed results of our vice president.
So asked to present does not implicate that it is a requirement that should have a 3.0.
It was a requirement.
No, asked to present does not indicate.
And what was the sense of we presenting the document?
So then the document is presented to the EC on its own and based on what?
No.
What? No.
Objection, my lord. My lord, Councillor is trying to do a very great the service to the laws of the land. My lord,
Council, not counselor. It's not a counselor, it's a council. A
counsel here,
counselor is in church. A council
here,
is
my
in
lord,
in court.
thank you very much. Counsel here is trying to do a very great service to the laws of the land. My lord, in Schedule 7.
Please, when you have objection, you should know what you're coming to say. We are not coming to wait for you to be going to.
It is stipulated that before a person becomes eligible,
Reference. You're now going to. That's what I was saying. Before you raise objection, you should know where you are coming from. You are now taking his time. Do you know that?
Article 38 plus C, that the person has obtained a cumulative. So, my lord, when you actually give the hypothesis and say that the fact that we said we should, my lord, there's a preamble. Does not mean, my lord, it keeps
There's a preamble
us
to
with this
that
preamble and
CGPA. There's a preamble saying that, you see, you don't pick and choose the constitution to suit your whims and caprices. No. Before you quote an article, read the heading, read from one to where you want to establish the fact. You don't pick and choose to suit your ideas. No. That is not how the constitution works.
My lord, I am most grateful. My lord, if it has been established, and we talked about it, that the vice president is in the election, he is a candidate for the election. Then Article 38 clause 1 says that my lord, he is in the election. The vice president is
Yes,
in the election.
no one is disputing the fact that he is in the
My lord,
election.
if it's in the election, then so far as elections under this constitution is concerned, I read.
You read the 38.
38 plus 1. A student shall not be qualified for any election to an executive office unless the clause says he has attained a CGPA of 3.0 as at the timing of the final examination. My lord, it is so clear. So don't create a hypothesis.
My lord, this provision is also in support of Article 37, clause 1. Which Article 37?
Overruled.
Where does it state that it is in support?
It says that there are election positions which are elected.
Overruled. So continue. You have a minute more. Even it's less than a minute, 45 seconds.
So, thank you, my lord.
Witness to the booth, Mr. Griffilis. Am I right? Or is it, what's the name? Griffilis.
Yes, exactly so, sir.
Please.
I, a champion in great place,
Do hereby in the name of God Almighty swear
do hereby in the name of God Almighty swear
that everything I shall say here shall be nothing but the truth.
that everything I shall say here shall be nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
My lord, thank you very much. Mr. Griffiths, in this election, what was your role? It has just ended the election. What role did you play?
My role was vice presidential candidate for Ayipenyere Munigelu.
When you were taking this decision, did you actually assess your CGPA?
Yes, please.
That says, did you obtain your transcript?
Yes, please. The detailed results.
Was the transcript brought to the vet?
Yes, please.
Did the EC tell you to submit transcript to the vet?
That was communicated to me by Ayipenyere because I wasn't on the field.
That is fine. When you heard the allegations that your fellow member doesn't have the requisite CGPA. What were your thoughts?
I saw it to be that he has not met.
Be established that it has not been established that his fellow member or whatever adjective you use allegation and allegations is court. So you can't. Some questions should be.
My Lord,
Has it been proven by the bench that the third person that
I didn't go on to make a conclusion. When he heard it, what did he think about it? Then he gives an opinion.
under someone allegation which has not been proved. Exactly. What is a quantum?
the electoral commissioner released a resignation of a candidate. What were your thoughts?
When the resignation letter was released, I read it myself, and at that moment, I went to pick the CI of the EC and read a portion that said that a person cannot withdraw his candidature a week to the election. So I felt it wasn't right.
Council, sorry to cut in, but I think we need to get a bit of education on this. Your line of questioning in your first examination seems to be on what are your thoughts? What do you think? If we are just guiding you, okay? But all these questionings don't really have any material effect on the case. We are making it clear to you. He is talking about his thoughts. You can't impose thoughts. Kindly ask questions that will merit the case. But if you keep on asking questions based on someone's thoughts, it has no material effect on this case. So maybe you should change your direction of questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my lord. In this case, what you said actually is stated in the CI, section 8, subsection D, that a candidate cannot withdraw his or her candidature a week before the vote. Is that so?
Yes, please.
When the voting was done on the third day of 6th August, and you saw the the presidential aspect of Mr. Sunny Base, based on this particular regulation, what did you make up of it?
What do you make of it?
What do you
What
make
are
of
your
it?
thoughts?
Yes.
Those see these things.
My lord, it brings something for us to
Yes,
actually
but the response from the one thing was examined don't have any material effect on the case here.
My lord,
It's his thoughts.
my lord, when he actually gives his thoughts, it implies that the purpose
We
were
are
giving
implying now.
No. I'm saying that
You said it
his
implies
thoughts
that.
are not the thoughts of the
Exactly. So why don't you ask him questions that has material effect on this case? So we are just helping you in your questioning
I get
to
you.
get relevant information to help this case. You keep on asking about someone's thought. And now get you.
That's what I'm saying, my lord. Please, can you finish your sentence?
On which one, please?
The fact that on the day of election, after reading this CI, on the day of election, the third individual was in the election. What were your thoughts?
That moment, I felt he had to be in the election because the petition that I read was brought late and they couldn't have been a sitting on his case. So I didn't think of anything other than he being in the election. And at the end of the day, maybe if they sit on the case, then we will know the way forward.
Perfect. My last question to you is that were there aspects on your nomination forms which affect your president, or you needed to get his insight on it? Were there aspects of your nomination form which you feel with your president?
Yes, please.
My lord, I rest in peace.
Please, can I have a seat?
Council, just like we advised the counsel for the petitioner. Let's not dwell on thoughts. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? You want to question whose answers could be very relevant to the case on this table. If you keep on probing his thought, you're doing more of psychology than law, please. Thank you.
Mr. Champon, right?
Yes.
I put it to you that was in the CI that detailed transcripts should be presented. I put it to you that was in the CI that a detailed resource statement is to be presented at the vetting.
That's not true.
Okay, so schedule at the CI under vetting of aspirants. The CI under vetting of aspirants. Section E. Aspirant must. That means this is a command or a must. That means it should be done. Aspirant must present the following document to the vetting committee prior to the commencement of vetting. Must, again, 1, 8 copies of their CV, 8 copies of their policies, any document of good standing, as an evidence of recommendation from 2 heads of department of respective schools. So I put it to you again, that the CI, which are basing on it, does not say that a statement of results to be presented at the vetting.
Objection, my lord. My lord, this is a question that he has based on the answer of the first question. My lord, already my client has actually made this move. And when it comes to how he brought his transcript to the vetting committee, it was his president who actually told me. My lord, based on that, you cannot actually please him on
My lord,
the conditions involving his transcript being on the vetting.
he was told by the president, but the president should go according to the CI. And the CI, the document to be presented, is not stated here that the statement of results should be here. So if the president sent that detail, it's not on the CI, and you are using the CI as your case to make your case, and it's not here.
Well, then respectfully, his president must answer, but it's not here. So he cannot answer to that.
Did you pick a nomination form?
Yes, with my president.
What was written on the nomination form?
Which part?
At the cover.
President.
President. Was any vice added?
No.
Have you read the Constitution
Yes.
about Schedule 7
Yes,
for
please.
nomination?
Yes, please.
What does Schedule 7 talk about nomination?
Thank you very much for asking me a question about Schedule 7. Because this Schedule 7 that you have been repeating has a point in the section 1B that says that the vice president will be elected as a federal executive officer.
Said in that section, it was stated that
The Schedule 7 that he has been quoting, section 1A and B. It says that all nomination forms shall be received from the electoral commissioner or the deputies. The B continues to say that nominations shall be filed in respect of the post of the executive officers of the SRC, to wait president, secretary, women commissioner, and treasurer. The nomination form for the president shall have a column for the name of the vice president he or she intends to appoint in the case of a federal president. And I emphasize on what I am reading now. Who also qualifies to be elected as an executive officer, provided that the president and the vice are not from one and the same hostel. Thank you.
as a statement to what he has said, it actually binds in the sense that when you read Article 37.1, a student shall not be a candidate in any election, shall not be a candidate in any election unless he is nominated for election as president or secretary or treasurer or women's commissioner by a document, which is the nomination form. Exactly. And for the president alone, there have been particular ways the presidential form should be designed. So if the vice president column is not filled, it has nothing to, it makes that document illegitimate.
You're not talking about, no, something, the case brought was not about the nomination from having. Thank you, my lord.
My lord, I want to find out about the fact he said. He said the case I brought was not about.
You gave him to read the constitution to read. So you've not brought a case, or you brought a case that I don't know.
No, my lord, I was just asking for clarification.
Exactly, because I don't know of any case he has brought. I only know you brought the constitution to the.
He said the case, is it my petition?
No. Is it a petition?
The petition. It's a petition was referring to.
Okay.
So, my lord, I want you to come again on the statement. He said that the case.
You overruled. Please continue. You have a minute. Yeah, a minute. 7.
My lord, thank you.
Thank you. All right. This you can.
Thank you.
So we take questions from the bench.
Okay, so to the fraction that's okay, so by your claim, how does someone without okay, so I'm referring to you, EKB. You are known to be a member of the okay, so the counsel for the petitioner. You are known to be a member of the vetting committee for the just ended elections. So by your claim, how does someone without appropriate credentials slip through the hands of the vetting committee and progress to the final stage?
Known that both the petitioners are or were members of the vetting committee, not only him.
All right, so to come again, both of you, the suing factions, are or are known or were known to be members of the vetting committee of the just ended elections. So by your claim, how does someone without appropriate credentials slip through the hands of the vetting committee and progress to the final stage?
My lord, thank you very much for the question. My lord, when we sat on that vetting, as I already mentioned, we are actually tasked to ensure in the constitution Article 46, clause B. My lord, I read, the vetting committee shall be responsible for ensuring that candidates for any elections under this constitution satisfy the requirements for in this constitution or a resolution of the SRC Parliament of regulations of the Electoral Commission set out under Schedule 7. My lord, indeed, we had this regulation to make sure that whoever passes through sets these or meets these requirements. And one of them, which is the case on the ground, is the CGP issue. But before then, my lord, like I already mentioned, election process is coordinated. It starts from somewhere, moves through, and ends somewhere. In the sense that there is no way you can do vetting. There is no way you can actually do without vetting and do straight voting. My lord, the first thing it goes is the nomination process. And in the nomination process, that is when the eligibility of the person is ascertained. My lord, it is in the nomination process that the aspirant gives his consent form for the DC to actually check from the academic affairs directorate whether
he meets the CGPA or not. So, my lord, by the time it gets to us, we believe that the EC should have done all these processes. And any document the EC provides to us, we have not actually verified it ourselves over the academic affairs. That is why when we saw our document and we saw that one person did not meet the CGP requirement, well, we did the needful. In fact, under normal circumstances, it was the EC who should have actually disqualified that particular candidate, even without getting to the vetting. But when we saw it, we did the needful. So my lord, the conclusion of it is that the person slipped through our hands on the basis that the EC did not do his work.
No. Counsel, were you a member of the vetting committee?
Yes.
You were.
Your Lordship.
How many were you on the committee?
Your Lordship, we were 8.
You were 8. The EC, per the constitution, is the chairperson for the vetting committee.
That is true.
According to our SRC constitution, Article 46, it stipulates what you can do and what you can't do, including you having the power to disqualify any candidate. You are now pushing the blame on the EC for not what?
My lord, if we were able to discuss.
It was a rhetorical question. No need to answer. What you are saying is, you don't really know your duties as a vetting committee member. If you are blaming the EC alone, you have the constitutional power to disqualify.
On what basis?
On what? It's clearly spelled out in 46 clause C.
On the basis
Did you read it?
of the CGPA.
Did you read it?
My lord, on CGPA.
Did you read 46 clause C?
My lord, that is what I actually
Can you read? The vetting committee shall have the power to disqualify any candidate for any elections under this constitution on grounds stated only in the constitution under either chapter 6 or the 7th schedule. A candidate comes to your vetting committee to be vetted, and you don't inspect all the required documents. You realize his documents were incomplete. I have the vetting results here. You went ahead, passed him, gave him marks for him to go into the election, and you're not coming to tell the court that.
My lord, 2 things in your statement are wrong. We never said his documents
they are
were
wrong.
My lord, 2
Did you
things
say 2 things in my statement are wrong?
And not, they do not meet what we actually said. My lord,
Did you qualify or did you give a green light to the candidate in contention now?
Yes, we did.
On what ground?
My lord, on the grounds that we looked through the documents and were satisfied.
Oh, wow. But did you hear him? But did you hear him?
My lord,
My lord, yes, we heard him.
my lord, so the case here is that if the documents on which we looked through.
You were satisfied then, but you are not satisfied now. Really?
Yes, we are not satisfied now.
How?
we are not satisfied now because there is allegations. We write
Allegations.
No, we write a vetting petition. I write a petition to the EC of which he couldn't respond. The next time he is accepting a resignation. And I asked, prove to us, let the court subpoena. What document did Mr. Oblite submit to him?
I have a vetting results report from the EC, and these vetting results were results from a committee which you sat. I don't want to go to the details of retrieving the marks individual vetting committee members got. If I want to go there, there's another issue there too. So let us.
If you want to go there, then you will document use.
Of course, I have all the documents here. Please. I requested for all any student of yours at the service.
My lord,
You recommended I'm not done with you. The student of
my lord, if
I'm
if there
talking,
is
please.
no, okay, thank you.
Please stop pointing your hand at me. Respectfully. You emphatically said you were satisfied at the vetting, even though you didn't see his statement of results. Is that what you meant?
No,
My Lord,
And you
that is-
told
that
the
is-
court you were satisfied.
Even though
Did
I
you
didn't
see? Did you see his statement of results?
Yes, I did.
You saw Oblite's statement of results.
My Lord, what we saw, the document we saw, is what Honorable Godwin used and asked him.
Did you see his
My
statement
Lord,
of
he didn't
results?
refute to that.
No, I did not present, I did not.
Easy. 2 minutes. Let's stand at the back, please. Counsel, did you see the statement of results of Mr. Oblite?
My Lord, yes, I saw. My Lord, we are making.
It's a simple yes or no question.
My Lord, yes, I saw his
You
academic.
saw what
I saw
was
his
there?
academic.
What was on it?
My Lord, he had a CGPA which is greater than 3.7, and we didn't pass him for that. My Lord, if the court wants to ascertain, then let us check the transcript of the study. The court have the power to do that.
It wasn't in the document I requested for. And it's not the duty of the court to go and check. We base our work on evidence submitted to the court. We don't have the right to go to academics directorate to request for someone's transcript. It's the duty of the EC and it's the duty of the vetting committee, which you are part. Don't say thank you, please.
My Lord,
It's not the old. It's not your duty.
It's not our duty to
Have you read your constitutional duties?
to academic affairs. That is my point. It is not. My
You
Lord,
seem to be oblivious of what you can do and what you cannot do as a vetting committee.
We have the power to go to academic affairs.
The vetting committee shall have the power to disqualify any candidate for any elections under this constitution on grounds stated only in the constitution under either chapter 6 or the 7th schedule. The chapter 6 or the 7th schedule talks about that is where the CI, parts of the CI were actually drafted. You need to get documents approval from the dean, which of course the dean gave all the candidates a green light here. We have the document from the dean here. Okay, which I'm sure you will inspect it.
Give all the candidates.
I'm reading. SRC EC chair. All individuals whose names are indicated on the attached are cleared. Number 2, I can certify that none of the aspirants here had any disciplinary issues known to the office of the Dean of Students.
Disciplinary issues.
You didn't get what I read first or what? I am saying that to the SRC EC chair, all individuals whose names are indicated on the attached pages table are cleared. The second one was, I can certify that none of these aspirants have had any disciplinary issues known to the office of the student affairs.
My Lord, respectfully, I present.
Did you or not see this letter from the dean?
I present to you that you are saying then that the dean of students are
Did you or
actually
not-
cleared their transcripts.
Counsel, did you or not see this when you were doing the vetting?
I did not see this.
Easy. Did you or not submit this to your vetting committee members?
No, I did not, because it came late, but that's it came late.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So my point is, I want to ask you a question. Easy.
yes,
Did you submit Mr. Oblite's statement of results?
I did not.
Why?
Why?
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Did you receive Mr. Oblite's statement of results?
No, please, I did not.
So therefore, can I conclude without making assumptions or inferences that none of your vetting committee members saw Mr. Oblite's statement of results?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Counsel for the petitioner, thank you. What you seem to tell the court is totally different from what the EC is telling us. I've gone through all the documents of all the 5 candidates. I didn't see Mr. Oblite's statement of results.
My Lord,
I asked the EC personally, when I was going through the documents, I didn't see his results. I asked him and he said, even till now, they haven't gone for it. So what are you telling the court? Are you lying to the court?
my Lord, this is a court of reference, and this we are in the superior jurisdiction of the SRC. My Lord, the EC chair has given a statement that he never received. My Lord, I am also giving a statement in my rights as a vetting committee member, that yes, we saw an academic document. My Lord, in this,
Is there any vetting committee
let,
member?
let the court prove.
Is there any vetting committee member aside? Can we get the legal advisor to Parliament on phone, please? Vetting level 400. Easy. Can you give me numbers of any vetting committee member? You want confirmation? Can you call Audrey, put on loudspeaker for us all here to hear? Hansen was part of the vetting committee.
My lord, please, I'm calling for someone on the line.
Can you? Betty, good evening. This is Isaac, the Chief Justice of the SRC. We are currently in a court hearing, and we want to get some information from you with regards to the vetting you guys have. We want to know, the court wants to know, we are actually in a court hearing. The court wants to know if indeed you saw the statement of results or transcript presented by Mr. Oblite.
No.
You don't remember seeing it? Okay. So court, the legal advisor to the Parliament of the SRC says she doesn't remember seeing Mr. Oblite's transcript or statement of results. Thank you so very much. Audrey. Oh, someone should be calling Hansen. Thank you. No, please. Stand.
She said she couldn't recall because she was not feeling well that day.
No, you can't.
Make me friend about
Exactly. Hansen. Mr. Hansen, good evening. Mr. Hansen, my name is Isaac Aboue, the Chief Justice of the SRC. I'm sure I'm speaking to Hansen, who was part of the vetting committee. We are currently in a court hearing and want to verify some facts from you. I would want to know, the court is all ears. You want to know if indeed you saw the transcript or the statement of results of one Mr. Oblite. The court wants to know from you, in the course of your vetting, did you see the statement of results or the transcript of Mr. Oblite? You didn't. You don't remember seeing it. Can we have audio, please? Thank you. Isi, who else haven't you called aside us? Right. Can someone call him? Miss Audrey, good evening. My name is Aboue Isaac. I am the Chief Justice of the SRC Committee. We are currently in a court hearing, and the court wants to find out something from you. I do believe you are a member of the vetting committee, please. Okay, so in the course of the vetting, did you in any way come across
the statement of results or the transcript of one Mr. Oblite, who was the running mate for Sunny Day Sedem? Don't recall seeing anything like that. Did the EC tell you why it wasn't part of the document submitted? Okay, so Ms. Audrey is saying that the EC commented about one of them not submitting the transcript, but she can't really recollect because she was indisposed as of that day. So we've called 3 people, and all of them are saying they don't recall. Thank you, Ms. Audrey. Can we get the last person? Destiny, come on. If you have his girlfriend's number, you can call. Is someone calling him?
Yes, I'm calling you.
Okay, so I think it's been made clear that none of those we called saw the transcript or the statement of results of Mr. Oblite. As to what counsel for the petitioner saw, I don't know. I don't know. But he claims he saw a transcript or a statement of results. Everybody says otherwise. So, counsel, are you misleading the court? You know, lying under oath is a criminal offense.
My Lord, it's because of integrity, that is why 2 of us are here. My Lord, respectfully, let me put to it on fact that they didn't say they didn't see. Hansen, Audrey, Betty, what they said, my Lord, of which the court had audience that is that they don't recall. 2 hypotheses can be here. That it could be that they saw
The event is less than 1 month. Okay. The event is less than 1 month. So are you trying to you said you saw his CGP was what?
My Lord, I said the document we saw, the CGP, was about 8.7.
Mr. Please your name. Gordon, which did you also see? What was the CGP on the document you both saw, but the others can't recollect? Only the 2 of you recall.
Well, I'm not saying it's only 2 of us.
Pardon?
I'm not saying it's only 2 of us who saw it. Yeah.
But the others we called here in court said they don't recall.
Yeah, they don't
seeing
recall
it.
seeing it.
One even
Yeah.
went ahead to say that she remembers the EC saying one of the candidates didn't submit transcripts. That's what Audrey said, which we all heard. Yes or no?
Yeah.
You use your phone in calling it. Kindly call her and verify yourself.
So if I start not here, I'm right to spend here. Thank you. Say that fine.
So which document did you also see, and what was the CGPA? But
Okay.
the first question, did you see?
Oh yeah, I saw something.
You saw something.
Yeah, I
Did
saw-
you verify the name on it?
There was no name on it.
Hey. How does it belong?
There was no name on it.
You
You see, that was what I wanted
your
to.
client, your client is. I don't even know what to say.
Mhm.
How you see? You are just aggravating the issue. You see a statement of results which belongs to a supposed candidate to be vetted, which has no name, and you go ahead and you pass him in vetting.
He had no name. It's a non-starter. You should have questioned that very moment.
I asked him.
We are all here because of you not being able to do your work that day.
I asked him. I questioned him.
You asked who?
I asked Obliche Prosper.
That
Yeah, and he said he was having issues, so he was not able to get the one that I think the one that we all know, that is the transcript, the one that we all requesting to see with the name and everything. He said he wasn't able to get access to it.
So the one you saw which had no name was for who?
It was something he said he just like printed it out from the portal.
Who said he printed out from the portal?
Obliche. Yeah, Prosper.
And it had no name.
Yeah, there was no name. It was just like
if I project to you my portal statement of results, my name is there.
Order. Order in court.
Pounds, kindly leave my court. So you saw something which had no name and you didn't question.
So I'm saying that I saw it too. You see, I saw it to the EC. That is what.
Easy. Did you submit anything which had no name to your vetting committee members?
No, you see.
Gentleman in the wine top, kindly leave my court. Continue.
Yes. So no statement of result was represented. My first deputy, who released all my documents, and even be a witness. Unfortunately, my phone is not.
Can you call your deputies on phone? Is any of them around?
I don't, but
Okay, so
Your Lordship, I had a comment of which I was waiting because the final
we are
comment.
asking you questions. When we are done, you have your chance.
okay, so the bench has been notified that what is okay. The council is here.
Good evening, Mr. Frimpong Samuel. My name is Isaac. I'm calling from the ongoing court hearing. I'm the Chief Justice of the SRC Committee. We want to hear from you. Were you in charge of receiving the statement of results or the transcripts from the various aspirants?
I was in charge of receiving the nomination forms and the files of nomination.
All right, that's fine. Did you receive the statement of results or transcript of Mr. Oblite?
No.
Did you receive the statement of results or transcript of Mr. Oblite?
Please no.
Okay, so if a vetting committee member tells you he or she saw a transcript
supposedly belonging to Mr. Oblite, but with no name, would you say yes
With
or
no
affirmation
name.
to it or not?
With no name.
With no name.
Please, where did you see?
He said he saw it during the vetting.
Okay, then it wouldn't be me who gave it to me because I don't remember giving them a transcript from myself.
You don't remember giving the vetting committee members a transcript from Mr. Oblite? But did you receive a transcript from Mr. Oblite?
No, please. I didn't. That's not.
You didn't receive a transcript from him. What was his reason for not giving it to you?
Please, I didn't know his reasons for not giving it. When I didn't receive it, I informed my third person that I didn't receive a transcript from myself.
So you told your chair, who is the EC, that you couldn't receive the transcript of Mr. Oblite. What was his response?
He told me, okay.
That was it.
He told me, okay.
So would I be right to say that you went into vetting without the transcript of Mr. Oblite?
Yes, please.
You went to vetting without the transcript of Mr. Oblite?
Yes, please. But, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your cooperation. The court really appreciates your time. Can we call the second deputy?
So fortunately for the bench, we've been notified that the events of the vetting on that day was so the bench is looking at what actually transpired that day to actually give credence to what is being said in the court.
Let me also hasten to add that if we realize some of the things said here are not in line with this, you might be pushed to spell out punitive measures, please.
My lord, especially, can we make a comment? Kindly give us some time, please.
Can we get seated, please? Okay, if you can, you take it. Can someone call Mr. Second Price candidate? One at a time, please. Were you able to call your deputy EC, the second one?
Please, the guy in the back, can you please approach the bench? Please come. You two come. You are here. Oh no. Please come. Please, you can't.
Important now.
Okay, so please. I know you can read it.
Yes, we were asking. Yes, so I think you take other questions. I have a lot of questions, but I would want my other justice to exhaust theirs before. So, on my findings, watching through the streamed betting procedure, I found nowhere. It was not in the video that it's not open. I don't know. And according to, let me ask this question: the inquiries he made about his alleged submitted statement of results. Did you make the concerns known out, or you just made it to someone?
Yes, I think I just made it to someone because that is the issue. Because let me start from where the whole thing started. You see, to be honest with you, the lady that we disqualified, you get it?
You understand.
Mhm.
Let's not enter another
Yeah.
issue. So my issue is that now that you have seen something like that, did it occur to you to put it across there for everybody to see what has
No,
aside the two of you?
no, please. I just
So after telling the EC, and that ended it.
yes, please.
But it's a committee. So if anything happens, we pass just like the way it is done here. You pass the information so that you know, so that you won't come and set a petition that only 2 people have seen.
Exactly.
And many have not. And to the other point being that this concern over whether his GPA alleged statement of result was not made known out for people. Even I can sit here and after watching, I can make point of people who I saw in the vetting here.
And none of them.
And none of them are here. And when you stream throughout, you see their faces from the beginning to the end. And none of them, I'm not saying it's not on record. Yes. But I can say that when you call them, none will be able, just like because you didn't make your consensus known, they will also not be able to be. But I feel you could have sent the message across so that we will not be here trying to move forward.
Whether or not it was sent. So wait, my question. You realized that he submitted a document which wasn't bearing his name. And did you know you had the power with the backing of the Constitution to disqualify him based on that? Did you know? As a vetting committee, you have the power to disqualify someone like you did in the lady's case.
Yeah, my lord, I think for the ladies' case, I first showed it to the EC. That's who is
Come
the
again, I
chairperson.
can't hear
Then
you.
with the lady issue, I first gave it to my chairperson, that is the EC, that this is it. So we should go through. And I think Mr. Hansen too also had a look at it. Then from there, it was transferred for the other people to see that.
So you did this for the lady.
Yes.
And I stand correct. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. I'm told even with the lady's part, it wasn't the vetting committee which saw it. It was rather the lady who was saying that in second year she had some listen.
No,
so he
please.
really
No,
can I
please.
land?
Okay.
Can I land?
Yes, please.
The lady wasn't aware of the fact that whether it's CGPA they are considering or GPA they are considering. Because her GPA was 3.0, but her CGPA was less than 3.0.
So she actually shot herself in the foot, and that was how come the vetting committee got to know. Yes or no? Easy. And you're saying no.
It's no, in the sense that we wanted to
clarify.
clarify.
Okay. Something. How did you get to know she had less than 3.0 CGPA?
Okay. You passed the document that the
Who passed?
Mr. Baldwin.
Okay.
Mr. Baldwin. That's very true. He's saying the truth. So you passed it to me.
He passed it to me, and then I passed it on to Rudolph. To Mr. Hansen. So when Hansen got hold of it, he claimed the disqualification. Yes.
Who found out that her CGPA was less than 3.0?
Okay. Wow.
You can't recollect.
Yes, I can't recollect. I won't lie. Wait. Hello.
Mr. Emmanuel, who found out on the vetting committee that the lady's CGPA was less than 3.0?
My lord, it was a coordinated process. As at that time when you were talking, I'd already found it out.
Did you comment on it when you saw it?
My fellow panelists did justice. I can remember Godwin actually showing chair, something like that. Immediately he was showing it to him. Then I just noticed that is what I was seeing.
So easy chair. Yes, the very first time you realized the lady was below the required CGPA for her position was through Mr. Godwin. The very first time.
That was true.
That is true.
Okay, so I feel once again the vetting committee, I wouldn't single out the EC in this case. Well, yes, the EC is the chair, but I'm of the view that even before her vetting started, someone should have seen this long time because her documents were presented to you before she came in, yes or no? And you didn't realize she had CGPA of less than 3.0, but you had to wait to start the vetting before someone saw it. I think the vetting committee didn't do a good service to the student of UHAT. Was it midway of vetting you realized she had less than 3.0, or the start?
Thank you.
Was it midway of the vetting or before you started?
It was midway.
It was midway. It was midway. Once again, the vetting committee should have realized this even before starting the vetting. If you had done due diligence to all the documents, cross-check. The vetting committee has been given that constitutional power. If you see someone hasn't submitted this, if you see someone doesn't meet a caveat given in the provisions of the Constitution, you have the power to disqualify. When you saw it, did you write a report to the EC stating categorically that you can't qualify this because of A, B, C reasons? Okay. You only said by word of mouth, right?
Yes, please. The document was presented to us.
The vetting results, the EC didn't even come with any attachment of a report. It was just disqualified. As to what was the reason, I don't know. We don't know. We're all hearing speculations that, oh, a CGPA was less than 3.0. Vetting committee, I'm only seeing a vetting result, but not a detailed report from the individual vetting committee members. Yes. After every vetting committee meeting of our vetting, every vetting committee member should submit a single report of whatever transpired to the EC for the EC to make a final report. That is what he's supposed to attach to the vetting results. That based on these findings by my committee members, we are making this declaration that these are vetting results. We have a vetting result passing all candidates, and you're not going to raise argument of something you ought to have done at vetting. You're not being fair to the students of yours. If you had done due diligence, you wouldn't have been here. Honestly speaking, I'm not really happy with the way the vetting committee did their work.
And I'm not sure any of my committee members, any of my justices here is happy with how you handle the vetting. If I ask for the vetting report, Mr. Easy, do you have a vetting report as of now? No, you don't have a vetting report. How do we ascertain that someone came to vetting without meeting the caveat of 3.0? By word of mouth? Vetting committee members, did you submit an individual report to the EC as per your findings in the vetting? You didn't. So do you think you are doing the good student of yours a good service? You were fed. You were paid allowances to do good work for us. Yet you didn't do it. We are only here because of you. It's past 12. We ought to have been asleep by now. But we are here because of something you refused or you failed to do, which is not fair. Like I said, I won't single out the EC and say that he didn't do a good job. You are all part of the vetting committee. You have the power to disqualify him or her based on your findings during the vetting. We are here because of you. Yes, you need to take the blame.
So, standing on the question I asked earlier, so does it mean that you knew what you were doing, so in the future you could frustrate the candidate in question?
Not at all. Not at all, Your Honor. Your Honor, it stands to reason that if, in fact, that hypothesis is even true, then when they submitted it, and I realized that is they've tagged their own points. That is even the right time to bury them from there.
No,
There was
but
nothing
then,
like that.
Okay, the fact we have gathered so far, you had to do this from the onset, but you waited for the candidate to pass through the various processes, even to the final stage, before you are writing this petition to the court, or you are suing the people who, in fact, you yourself, you seem to have sued your own self because you are part of the vetting committee, and you didn't do your work as you should have done that. And that is why we are sitting here, as you said.
You accept to sue your own self.
Can I please answer? It's a simple yes or no question. It's a difficult question to answer yes or no to. Please.
You are part of the vetting committee.
Respectfully.
Sure, please.
You see, when you were making your submission, I kept quiet. I am a man of integrity. When something goes wrong, you say that it is gone wrong. I will not defend myself that I did 100% work on the vetting committee. Why? Because as you are saying, if we saw something like that, we don't trust everything on this gentleman and believe that he will actually do everything. Even if he left the veteran to actually rectify it, we should have placed enough pressure on it. And then our report should have come up. I totally agree. But, Your Lordship, then stands the case that if I didn't push this issue up, would we be here finding a solution to issues like this? Because I believe in future years to come, we will look at things like this and correct issues and make our LSRC stronger. So the issue is that, yes, when you make a mistake, what is the solution? How do you readdress it?
Well, please,
and Your Lordship, I believe that at least we take enough credit for knowing that, yes, we made a mistake, but another office made a bigger mistake.
Okay, please.
And then
we know, but we are here because you refuse to do the work that you failed. In fact, you failed to do the work that you are mandated to do. If the vetting committee had done their work as they should have, you wouldn't have been here in the first place. In the first place, the problem wouldn't have existed. You understand? Because you failed to do your work. Now we have a problem, and you, who was on the vetting committee, have seen that problem because you failed to do your work. And that problem is existing because you failed to do your work. So, in the absence of the fact that you failed to do your work, first, there wouldn't be any problem. two wouldn't have been sitting here. So do you accept that you did a study work?
So, Your Lordship, to answer that, then I also say the hypothesis of what you are doing, that if we hadn't have also come here, everything will have just been be placed under the carpet.
And that means,
Because you failed to do your work.
because you got to do your
Yes.
work. That's the
Yes.
underlying.
You see, we trusted you as a vetting committee to do due diligence for us. Parliament nominated you. You were approved by Parliament to do due diligence for us. You didn't do it. That is why we are all here. So she wants you to understand that we are at this time in our electioneering process because of your failure to do due diligence in the vetting.
Your Lordship, I agree that we didn't do our work.
Secondly,
But that is why that's the reason why we are here. Your Lordship, the bigger ball, the goal that we should be looking at is that when a wrongdoing has been done, how do we rectify it? The CGP of the person, was it actually what it was?
I thought you said you saw more than 3.0.
My Lord, that is against what they are saying. So the court must be able to actually subpoena the transcript of the individual to confirm.
Subpoena a transcript.
So that the
you had an opportunity after viewing the CGPA, that they said CGPA, to have passed it on for other people to bear witness in case of eventualities like this. You didn't. So you can't say that as to what you are saying. So how do we say as to what you are saying? Because in this case, you have your facts, which is not known across your other members, and they also have their facts, which is not also known to you. So how do we say that? How do you say that? Ask per what they are saying. He too can say, ask per what you are saying. Because what evidence you have provided is not known across the vetting committee.
Your Lordship, thank you very much. Your Lordship, all what comes in my mind when you speak, when you say these things, is the scenario that if I saw somebody murder someone and I didn't report it.
Assumptions?
My Lord, I'm giving a scenario too.
Scenario is.
My Lord, I'm creating put the one principle to answer the question. Thank you very much for your cooperation. My Lord, if I see somebody murder someone and I do not report, and I go out to the house, after some time I hear allegations, then I remember that I should have done the correct, and I come back to the court of law. My Lord, because of my mistake, should the murderer go scot-free?
Because this is witnessing, and you could have done something and you decided not to. Yeah, in your case, maybe in this scenario, you are not able to. If you are not able to actually stop the murder, maybe it's because of an inability or a lack of power to do so. But in this scenario where you have the power to actually do anything that you feel contradicts to the law. So it's like comparing apples and peaches. So,
Your Honor, I would like to actually suggest and submit to your bench. Your Honor,
is that your closing statement?
No, it can't. It can't be. You have not called for my closing statement.
Another issue I have.
Another issue I have has got to do with the fact that you are a vetting committee member and you also happen to be an administrator of a candidate who even came to the vetting committee to be vetted by you. Don't you think it's a conflict of interest?
Your Honor, you are making allegations. Administrator of a
I'm not sure that is my number with the name EKB.
Your Honor, if you actually use the statement administrator of a candidate, Your Honor, please, what do you mean by that? Of a group, not a candidate.
What's the name? Tim Asubonte?
Your Honor, I believe this matter was settled out.
Can I have your phone?
We are not done. We are not done.
My phone is my phone. It has all the details which are also
of confidentiality in the writing of it, which I am entitled to.
We mentioned your number. This is your number, right? This is your number. EKB.
Okay.
If I delete your contact right now, this is what I'm going to say. Calm spirit.
Okay.
EKB.
Okay.
Group admin. Team Asibontin.
Okay.
Asibontin came to be vetted by you as a vetting committee. Is that supposed to be a conflict of interest?
Your Honor, we have not even been able to prove whether I was actually on that particular WhatsApp page before or after the vetting. Before or after the vetting.
This is the proof.
Honor, there is no proof whether I was on the page before or after the vetting.
I have here the page was created on the. It's incomplete, so I can't use the date. But it's 8/4/20. Group admin Asibontin, group admin Kobe Wayne, group admin EKB. And as of when this screenshot was taken, someone had, I think, sent a message. So how do you, say you are not on that page?
The truth of it is that.
But do you know that the court has power to take your phone right now?
Respectfully, if the court has the power to subpoena this, then the court should have the power to subpoena the transcript you are talking about.
We can't subpoena the transcript, okay? Because we are not refuting any transcript here, but you are trying to refute the fact that you belong to this page. You said you are a man of integrity. You told me something on the day of the election that let my conscience judge me. Let me be quick to tell you that let your conscience judge you.
Okay.
If indeed you are saying that this is not true.
My Lord, I can also look at another hypothesis that, my Lord, for your own WhatsApp group, somebody can look at your name. Your boy will say, Kwame, Yoki.
And then my WhatsApp name is Kwame Isaac with I think a laugh emoji. Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Your number is not hidden for most of your students, right?
Excuse me.
I said your number is not hidden for
Yes.
a lot of your students. So somebody can look at this number, take it, and add you to a page and screenshot it.
Oh no.
Then it's over there.
My Lord,
Are you kidding me? Really?
You can add me to the page. Just add you to the page. And you can.
How come you are not clean? How come you
Your
are
Honor,
not clean?
I am actually bringing a hypothesis.
But you are an administrator of the group.
My Lord, it's a hypothesis.
Okay, fine. But you are an administrator of the group.
The person can also make you an administrator. That is why, Your Honor, we shouldn't go into this. This is
No, you can't tell the court what to do or what not to do. We have an exhibit here from the respondent, and the exhibit clearly states that one Mr. EKB, who happens to be you, is a member of a group on WhatsApp named Team Asibontin, and there are 3 group administrators here. 1, Asibontin himself. 2, Kobe Wayne. The numbers Asibontin mentioned for his number is this one. The number you mentioned as being your number is this one. You could have immediately deleted yourself from the group if you don't want to be a member of the group.
I said the person.
When did you realize? When were you added to this group?
Your Honor, as your own justice competently dismissed this case.
Who dismissed this? Can you stop making castigation against the bench?
With regards to what he's saying,
Okay.
I stated categorically that there was assertion made that by the counsel of the defendants that this petition is a concussion to actually help bring Mr. Isubontin into power. Was that not what it was? And I was like, if he cannot prove, he should retract it. So it has been retracted.
Can you please render an apology to the bench?
Your Honor,
Or was that not what I said?
We have a video here. If you want us to have a playback, we can.
Your Honor, he said
He
that.
never said dismiss this.
No, I'm not saying.
No, it's not dismissed. What I'm saying. No.
He said dismiss.
Yes, yes, but it's not. Yes, I did.
So
Yes.
which one will I dismiss? Which one do you think he claims to have dismissed?
Your Lordship, I am very sorry for that. Your Honor, about this particular thing, that's why I said it is. We have a right of association.
Did you leave the page after someone added you and made you admin?
Your Honor, I cannot even speak to the details of this because my very self, I have not seen all these things that they are talking about. My Lord, the truth of the matter is that many people can get these things and gather a lot of influences from. Your Honor, respectfully, if I look at your beautiful justice here, she's in the class of one aspirant, Mr. Sunny Days. Does that make her?
You said what? Is in what?
She's in a class.
Are you comparing class to a team page?
My
Counsel,
Lord,
please.
My Lord, it goes on with. I'm just making
Counsel,
a-
please.
It's not the same, please.
My Lord,
You see how we are all surprised about you?
oh,
Don't be doing this.
my Lord, what I'm saying is that it doesn't prove anything.
Oh, you think? So if assuming you see, let me ask the court something. Let me ask the court something. Assuming you had seen my name there as an administrator of this page, how would you feel? Be honest. Pardon? It means I'm part of the team. I've compromised the bench. I can't even sit on this case. That is what it means. Counsel, you are a vetting committee member and you are part of a group by someone you intend going to vet,
My Lord,
which is so not right.
my Lord,
We have a proof. It was received as an exhibit from the respondent. We haven't dismissed it.
Said before betting or after betting.
Can we have your phone?
Your Lordship, I said if the court can subpoena my confidentiality issues, which I have my transcript and all these.
Without that, we have accepted this as an exhibit. And any ruling we are going to make, this is part of it, just like the exhibit you submitted. There are a lot of exhibits of screenshots. I can give you over 4. Today we accepted. If this is the angle on which you are coming from, it means you have to pull away or strike out all those exhibits or evidences.
No, man.
Yes, that's why you're telling the bench.
My Lord, actually, you brought this issue up.
No,
My Lord,
that's what you're telling the bench.
I said, my Lord, we
Where
don't
are
have
the
to actually drag this. My Lord, respectfully, shall we proceed?
We accepted this. Yes, we spoke about it. So why are you saying yours there? We should throw it away and we shouldn't take cognizance of.
My Lord,
No, in quote, I'm not saying you should throw it away. I'm not saying you should throw it away.
my Lord, I have plunged. My Lord, I have plunged the whole exhibit.
Please. I said, please. Mr. Japan, please, as stated earlier, if you have any remarks, please keep them in your head so you are asked to voice them out.
Respectfully, my Lord, shall we proceed?
My final statement before if any other justice has any question. The vetting committee, let me personalize this. I feel we're not applicants.
For the work they were given and even with the constitutional backing, they failed. And I'm choosing my words very well. They failed to do that which the Constitution expected them to do. And we are here as students because of the vetting committee. The 8-member committee has done us a huge disservice. they were paid, they were fed to do something good for us, which they didn't. If you see an anomaly in the ongoing or in the vetting process, you should have to write to the chairperson of the vetting committee, who happens to be the EC, state categorically, I didn't see this document. On that count, I'm disqualifying him based on A, B, C, D. You are done. It will be sent to the EC, and in his report, he will state categorically, vetting committee member A disqualified candidate A on the grounds of A, B, C, D. Then we make progress. You don't see an anomaly and discuss with your other colleague and not pass to all the vetting committee members and expect the court to believe that A, B, C, or D.
On this note, we'll take the closing statement. This is not an open forum. This is not an open forum no. So write it to the.
Please, we'll be going for a recess. When we go on the recess, you can come and let's talk, please.
Please, counsel for the petitioner, please give your closing statement.
Thank you very much, my lord. My lord, we have seen that, number one, due diligence was not done by the work of the electoral commission in checking these documents, and his office has been charged to have actually been the very office who can verify these transcripts, didn't do due diligence. My lord, this particular mishap. Please, the due diligence, the electoral commissioner did not do due diligence in actually checking these transcripts. And in the case of Mr. Oblite, allowed a lot of injustice to be done. It actually further led to the vetting committee to also do a shoddy work. But my lords, we are actually asking the court that if my petitioner and myself, my co-petitioner and myself, both of us actually are on the wrong. That is why we are here, to get the matters reversed. Yes, we didn't do our work well, but the work that was not done well has actually given grounds for the constitution to actually be done a lot of harm. And in that, we are asking the court that you have deserved better. You have students deserve better. Let us get the transcripts. Let us look at the content of the issues. And then we'll be able to ascertain the facts behind all these issues. My lord, in CI 127 of the Public Election Regulation 2020, my lord, in Regulation
Counsel for the petitioner, thank you. Closing remarks, counsel for the defendant.
My lord, I would like the bench to know that the failure of one person does not give room for the failure of another. It's an account adage that who make a mistake to kill. That's not around a mistake for another person to divide or split. So if the EC, based on the closing remark, killed the vetting committee, which is made up of a member of 8, have the power to have disqualified the candidate and not now using this medium to rectify the mistake, blaming the EC for that. And also, we would like to state emphatically that the Constitution, Article 38, Clause 1, which I state again, that qualification of a GPA of 3.0 is for candidates for election. Candidates for election. And Article 37 makes mention of the candidate for election in Schedule 7, 1B. Thank you very much.
Thank you. CJ.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Cut again.
The bench will be on recess for 10 minutes, starting now. We'll be returning in 10 minutes.
Oh, it's 12:45 p.m. and we are still at the court hearing of the SRC Court of Judicature, where the justices are about to mention their verdict or declare. They're about to. Wow, my English is. They're about to declare the verdict about all what we've heard so far. So we've had 4 cases being presented today, 4 different cases relating to the election, and then ultimately they are going to sit and decide on the outcome of the election. So currently you're on 10 minutes recess, and in the next few minutes the process will begin. So what are you feeling right now? Like, what are you feeling personally? Along the line, I see that it's getting more and more interesting.
Yes, I also say it's getting interesting in the sense that we've learned a lot, and now I don't know what the verdict will be. So I'm just hoping to hear the best from the judges.
Yeah, it has been quite an interesting night because so many things are popping up, and we had to make calls and verify so many things. I mean, who would have thought that in a live court session, like all these things could happen? So what did you make of? Did you see anything like that surprise you? I mean, from the second person, this one with your side, anything that surprised you?
Okay, I would say the aspects of the CGP of the running mates. The defendants keep saying that the running mate. He used that term. The running mate is a candidate, but not a candidate for election. And then the petitioner also says that no, he's a running mate. So I mean, there are a lot of things being digested here and there, and we've now come to understand certain things, and we should all learn that whenever we are doing things, we should know what the constitution says and how to go about it. Personally, I've learned so much about, because if you really look at the constitution, I feel that at some point the constitution is a bit silent on the qualification of the running mate. But that's notwithstanding, the running mate is also somehow attached to the presidential candidate. And so we don't really have the power to interpret the law well. So that's why we are the court of justice. So we are just hoping for the best.
Yeah, so when you guys are with this, you notice that there is so many, I don't know how to put it, but then so many things are trying to pop up. I mean, with the time the election, and then you get to find out that they actually, you have to be very careful with the words that you are saying here, especially when it comes to the vice president being a running mate and a candidate and so many stuff. What's your point? One of the justices had to say that he is a running mate, he's not a candidate, he cannot be called. All that point is kind of confusing, but then we've got a lot of comments, like so much comments from YouTube. I'm going to read a couple of them. So first of all, we have one which says it's getting tensions. Then we have I'm loving it. Then please, you guys are tired, Your Honor. Kindly adjourn. You know, it's actually 12 p.m. People are actually tired, and then the justices are come to give you a verdict this evening. It's quite something. A short-term memory come inside. Oh, the justice when they call the justices, exactly, they all forget him. And then he made a case that there's a difference between recall and there's a difference between unable to recall and not seeing it. Those two words came there. The next, I'm quiet just to avoid any content. Then power is power. I'm crashing on the judge in black. That is actually the Chief Justice. Like, you see that these people are actually trained, like they have the legal knowledge, like especially one of, I don't know his name, but the Fair Justice. Like, you see that he's really trained, he knows his words and all this stuff.
That is what I was saying initially, that though most of, like, we are all health students, but people have really taken the time to know the constitution and what it says. So he's just telling us that as students, we shouldn't only be concerned about what we are reading, but should also look at other aspects that can help us to know our rights as students. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the judges.
So going on with the comments, people are saying the judges are tired. Someone else is saying, is it fair that a counsel from one side speak with a judge secretly? I stand to be corrected. People are saying EKB in the mad, everything is hypothesis, the matter of hot. Assemble is getting tensions. Your Honor, we are very surprised. I lost my respect for the guy, he's not truthful at all. How can you compare class to team page? Vetting committee, I'm disappointed. I'm sure he's talking about EKB, probably. He's also saying I should be sleeping by now, but because of them, I'm still awake watching it. It's interesting watching this, though, as interesting as the Money Heist movie. The camera is even black. The camera is even Tiger black. Court verdict coming up. Frimpong the assembly, but this added does not conform to what is in there. So we have so many comments coming in. I mean, like, many people are actually watching it. It's now 12:50 p.m. and then there are as many as 30 people watching the live stream right now. This should tell you how many people are interested in this event. But then, if you come on campus, you see that like it's low. He's not really talking about it. Then deep inside, people are actually really concerned about all what is happening.
Yes, people are really concerned. Like I said earlier on, this is one issue that students are going to follow, and US-based TV is here to serve the best by bringing the coverage of whatever goes on here. So we are entreating us all to keep watching the detail of everything on US-based TV and to subscribe to our channel. Keep your comments coming and like it as well.
Yeah, indeed. The comments are so much. You know, these comments are actually more than the first one. It's so many that I can't keep reading them. But then, just as it is, keep on commenting. I'll try as much as possible to read all the comments. You can also send your messages via the WhatsApp number 0501649771. So in just about a few hours, I'll say maybe around 1 o'clock, the justices will be ready to declare the verdict of it. Who knows? Maybe they may ask us to go for a revetting of the presidential candidate, because if you look at how the justices were speaking, it's like they were trying to, not that I'm implying what they want to say, but then they are trying to, based on the fact that the vetting committee failed to do their job. So in that case, no, there's going to be the re-vetting of all the candidates and then re-voting possible.
That I can't really say because the verdict is yet to come out. But for the aspect of the vetting committee not being able to deliver as it was supposed to, I think that aspect has somehow been clarified. And I think it's a lesson. It's something we should all learn, so that when it comes to the subsequent ones, we know most of the times we the students we take up appointments or positions without even knowing what really goes into it. So I think this is something we should all know, because if duly they knew that this is the kind of power they possess, I'm not sure that they could have entrusted it in the hands of an individual or who's the chair of the whole committee. So I think it's something we should all learn from and know what to do.
So it got to a point, something was coming up that people were actually thinking that one of the petitioners was lying to the Court of Justice, especially when they were calling about the issue about the GPA issue. People actually, or some people thought that he was lying to the panel. And you know that once you sworn an oath and you lie before an oath, that is actually a big criminal offense. Before, if you tell a lie before the court, because you swear to say the truth, and then you are before Chief Justice. So if at that time you tell a lie, that is a big deal. But then it turns out that there is not really much of an evidence. So they haven't really settled that issue as to whether his GPA, and because the matter is a sensitive matter, you can't just call for someone's. I mean, you can't just call for somebody's GPA and make it public like that just because of an election. I mean, it's a confidential matter. So the issue here is that if his GPA is above 3.0 or whether it's going to be low, what did the vetting committee do? So that is basically what the judges are trying to say, that you are a member of the vetting committee if and only if you saw his result statement. Also, that's whether he should result statement and transit. If you saw the result statement, why did you disqualify the person? Because you have the right to. So I think because of that, the judges can say that because of that, they are going to call for a revetting of all the candidates again. It's going to be quite a long process.
That I don't know. I don't know what the judges will say, but I think they some way somehow attested to the fact. I mean, the petitioners attested to the fact that they some way somehow failed in delivering their duties as the vetting panel. So I think that this is something that's, and in the first place, with what the defendants are even saying, they are saying that that qualification of the CDPA doesn't even affect the running mates. So that is something. So because if that is the case, then we think in the first place it doesn't affect it at all. So we are just hoping that the justices will give their rights vetted.
Yeah, so we're about to start the court hearing is about to begin for the verdict, where the justices are come to give the verdict of the SRC case. So do stay with us here on UHAS Base TV as we bring you live coverage